Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, I've just got off the phone with a friend of mine who I haven't seen for a few years, and she's in Paris for a few days, so I thought it might be quite nice to go and see her. Now, if I were a normal person, I'd take a plane or a train, but I'm not, so I figured I'd drive there instead. It's been a while since I've been on a road trip, so I thought it might be quite good fun. To add a layer to this, I'm going to see if I can get there and back on a single tank of fuel. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be doing that in this 5-litre supercharged Range Rover because that would be stupid. I doubt this car would get me to London and back on a single tank. No, instead, my car of choice is my BMW 730 diesel, which I bought for just £3,500. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? I literally had this idea about an hour ago. There's nothing quite like good planning, is there? So there's quite a number of things to sort out. So, let's get cracking, shall we? Right, well, I've just stopped by Harrods, not the one in London, the one in Marple, the motoring components shop, and I've picked up all my essentials. So I've got a yellow vest, which I think is compulsory, or a gilet jaune, as it's known in France, and I've got some tyre seal, because I think the big old 7 doesn't have a spare, so just want to be prepared. So that's it, that's my packing done. What's that saying again? Prepare to fail, fail to prepare, prepare to fail. Seatbelts. Right, I'm going to go to work now and pick up the big 7 and then go and fuel it. So I shall see you there. Okay, so I'm back in the 7 Series. Now, after the last time I filmed with this car, I noticed the air conditioning, which I had recharged, wasn't working. It did initially, but then it started to get warm again. So I ran it back to the BMW specialist and it needed a new condenser. So it's had the condenser fitted and then they've recharged the gas. So now it is ice cold. I've just filled the fuel tank full of diesel. It's got an 80-litre tank this, so it took £140 to fill it full of V-Power. I know I'm rushing around now like a madman, but I think this should be achievable. It's 300 miles to Folkestone, 200 miles from Calais to Paris, and then back again, so 1,000 miles from a full tank should just about be doable. Of course, the car's range is contradicting that slightly because it tells me I've got 437 miles from a full tank, but that's because I'm driving around town. I think as soon as I take it steady on the motorway, it should stretch to, it'll probably start reading 7s and 8s, I hope. Let me just do the maths there. So it's got an 80-litre tank, there are 4.6 litres in an imperial gallon, so that is 17.3 gallons. So it's got a 17.3 gallon tank, and I've got to get 1,000 miles. So I need to do about 58 miles per gallon to be able to get 1,000 miles or so from it. It should just be about doable. I've just set my alarm for tomorrow morning for 4 AM, which I'm not looking forward to, but I figured a quick shower, get changed, brush my teeth, all that sort of stuff, and I'll be able to leave the house around about 4:30, I hope. So I should be at Folkestone for about 10, easily. I'm hoping slightly earlier so I can get on a slightly earlier crossing. So, right, I will see you tomorrow morning. Sorry guys, I've had a change of plan. I was just laying in my bed then and I was getting all stressed and anxious thinking about this trip. I was thinking I've got to drive slowly enough to eke out as many MPGs as possible, but not so slowly that I miss my train. And I've got to be back in the UK for Saturday because I'm going to City Spurs. I'm filming on Sunday. I've got to go down to London on Monday through Wednesday. I've just got too much to do and I can't risk things going wrong. As I lay there, I was thinking this is supposed to be a fun trip, not one riddled with anxiety and mental arithmetic. That isn't fun at all. Plus I had the worry that this is an unknown car to me. I've only spent a couple of hours in it when I've been out filming. I don't really know it, so I can't fully trust it. So I've had a change of plan. What I'm going to do now is drive to work and leave this car there, the car that I've just put £140 of fuel in, added onto the motor insurance database, and taxed. Anyway, you only live once, don't you? So instead what I'm going to do is drive to work and get something out of the garage that's a bit more fun. It might make this trip a little bit more memorable and enjoyable. You might be wondering what that car is, but I guarantee as soon as I start it up, you'll recognise it. The exhaust note is quite recognisable, so I'll see you there. Then I really need to get back in my bed and get some sleep. I'll have to amend the Eurotunnel booking as well and change the reg. Everything is last minute with me all the time. Anyway, right, I shall see you at the garage. Now this is a proper road trip, 730Ds. I don't know what I was thinking of. I haven't driven this for weeks. It's just been collecting dust in the showroom. So why not stretch its legs? That's what it's there for, isn't it? Oh, first we need some fuel. I've got a feeling that won't be the only time I say this on this trip. Right, well I'm all fueled up, so I'm going to go home now and try and get 5 or 6 hours sleep. So I shall see you guys in the morning. Good night. Morning. Quick sit rep for you. I am at Clackett Lane Services. I've just stopped for a bathroom break because I've got the bladder the size of a thimble. And I've got a coffee because I was starting to look like Paul Gascoigne on a Monday morning. Or a Tuesday morning for that matter. Or a Wednesday morning. That is unbelievable, that. You just don't see these cars at all, and I've just seen another AMG GT. What are the odds? So I made really good time this morning. I left about 20 to 5. And originally when I was going to come in the 7 Series, I thought I would go down the M1 because although it's slightly longer, it's shorter in miles. But I hate that route, it's really boring. So I decided to come the M6 way. So M6, M42, M40, M25. I hit a little bit of traffic on the M25 as you might expect. But so far, so good. We're now, I'm guessing, I've done this journey many times, I'm guessing we're now an hour and a bit away from the Eurotunnel. Maybe an hour and 10 minutes. So it is 10 to 9. My Eurotunnel train thing is booked at 20 past 11, so we've got plenty of time. And so far, I'm really glad that I've chosen this car. I've not driven it for weeks, so I've really loved using it. The weather is atrocious. I left Manchester and it was mild and dry. Then as soon as I head down south, it is just poured down with rain the entire time. I know the purpose of this trip, since I'm now in this car, wasn't exactly an eco run, but I have done, so from start I've done 242 miles this morning. I've averaged 61 miles an hour, which is quite good going really, considering a lot of that was average speed zones at 50. And I've done 28.2 miles per gallon. It's not too bad, is it? It's about half what I was hoping to get from the 7 Series, but for a car like this, it's not bad at all. That coffee is bitter. Should have put sugar in it really. Right, I will continue with my journey then, and I'll catch up with you at the Eurotunnel. So, see you soon. Right, well we're at the Eurotunnel terminal. In front of me is a 135 convertible, that's a rare car. I've just realised as well, this is the first time I'll be using my new blue British passport. It's exciting, isn't it? I've been in the car now 4 hours and 54 minutes. It always takes about 5 hours, give or take, so not too bad. 294 miles, 28.8 miles per gallon. I can live with that. I'll stop for some more fuel as well because I thought at least if I get it in the UK I can claim my VAT back against my business expenses. And I think it's a couple of pence cheaper than it is in France, so. Oh no. I've come to the wrong side, haven't I? Bugger. Right, well, we're currently somewhere under the English Channel. I've just had a flashback. The last time I did this and videoed it was with that diesel RAV4 that I took down to Spain. That was about 4 years ago, so it's been a while. I have done it since then, I just haven't filmed it. What always amazes me about this is it only takes 35 minutes in the Eurotunnel. For years and years and years, I always did the ferry, the Dover-Calais and Calais-Dover ferry, but it takes like an hour 40. The ferry is half the price, which was the reason I did it, but this is just so much quicker. I'd rather pay the extra 60 quid and get there an hour earlier. When I get to the other side, I should have around a 3-hour drive to Paris, so it's not too bad. I'm starting to feel a little bit tired. I'll probably stop somewhere along the way and get a coffee and a pan au chocolat. But first, I just want to say a big thank you to today's video sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Dapper Dan. Dapper Dan supply men's hair products. My ears have just popped. Now, when they got in touch, I've been using Dapper Dan products for years, so when they got in touch, I was over the moon. I've been using the products now for about a decade, and I genuinely thought it was some big faceless corporation, some huge conglomerate, but that couldn't be further from the truth. It was founded, and it's still run to this day, by 2 brothers from Sheffield, who were barbers originally, so they know exactly what they're talking about. I use the sea salt spray as soon as I get out of the shower, so I give it a few squirts, then as soon as it's dry, I shake some powder into it, and then style it. And then I add some matte clay. That reminds me, I went to school with a lad called Matt Clay. Anyway, that's irrelevant. Add some matte clay, rub that between my hands, and then style it. It's as easy as that, and it lasts all day, and it smells good. I've liked and used the products for years, but I like them even better now I know they're a local family-run business. If you click the link below in the video description and use the promo code HIGHPEAK01, you'll get 35% off your order, which I think is very generous. It supports them, it supports me, it supports the channel. So thank you very much, I appreciate it. And a big thank you to Dapper Dan for sponsoring today's video. Right, we're nearly there, so I'm going to go and have a quick bathroom break, again, and then see you on the other side. Well, that's mad. I've just bumped into my parents. They're on the way back from Spain, and they called me about 20 minutes ago, and we were on the same road, obviously in opposite directions, but it was perfect timing really, because they're about half an hour from the Eurotunnel, so they don't need this anymore. So I've just nabbed it off them, which will make my life much easier. Watch this, as if by magic. No more having to get out of the car and back into the car again like an idiot. I've got about 2 hours now to Paris, and the sun's out, so I can finally enjoy my drive. Shades will be on next. For the last 2 or 3 hours I've just been driving through heavy rain. It really zaps your energy because you've got to really concentrate. I could really do with a coffee, to be honest, but I really don't want to stop anymore. I've had too many breaks today, so I think I'll just plough on and try and get one when I get there. So yeah, I'll catch up with you when I'm in Paris. See you there. Alright guys, well, I'm here in Paris. I've just checked into the hotel. I chose this hotel because it had parking. Now, when you see the parking, I had to park on like the 3rd level below ground. It was the tightest car park I think I've ever been in. That definitely wasn't the car to bring. But anyway, it's parked up for the night. So I'm just going to get a quick shower to try and wake myself up a little bit, and then I'm going to go and see my mate. So yeah, I'll probably catch up with you tomorrow. Cheers guys. Morning guys, how are you doing? I'm currently driving around trying to get a picture of the Eiffel Tower with my car in the background just to prove that I've actually been, and all I've got so far is a headache. I've quickly realised this isn't the ideal car for Paris. People drive like maniacs and it makes me very nervous, and I'm lost, so I'm gonna have to spin around. You might be able to see that. Maybe not. Where am I going now? Jesus. It's like National Lampoon's this, isn't it? Hey look kids, there's Big Ben in the House of Parliament. Can I go up here? It says no entry, but the sign was covered over. I'm not convinced. I rather naively thought that I'd be able to just park somewhere with the Eiffel Tower in the background and get a good shot, but I now realise that that was a stupid idea. My plan is to stop for a quick coffee with my mate and then head back to Calais and get on the Eurotunnel. So, quick, you see what I mean? Nearly clipped my back end there. So yeah, quick trip, but one that's been jam-packed. I was planning to give you a bit of a sightseeing tour, but I'm not really the right person to do that because I've got no sense of direction. I'm not in the right car. So I tried, at least I tried. Trying to follow my sat nav here. It must be quite a nice area of Paris because the cars have gone from Renault 5s to Porsche 911s. Oh, this is a nightmare. I don't like driving in city centres at the best of times, but this is just... Oh, English car. English Mini. From London. Parisian gent there, look. Oh, go on, go on. He was just going anyway, so may as well let him go. The architecture around here, though, is, as you would expect, beautiful. Right, this might have been a completely pointless little clip, but I'll catch up with you when I'm on an auto route and I've got more time on my hands. See you then. Right, and we're back in Britain, and even the sun's come out. I had about 2 hours from Paris to Calais of nothing but non-stop heavy rain. It was miserable, but here at least I've got my sunglasses on. After I checked in at the Eurotunnel, I got stopped by British Customs, who told me to drive over to their little garage thing so they could check my car over. I know they're just doing their job, but it's really quite insulting. They bombard you with questions that you can't really answer straight away because they put you on the spot. And they make you feel like a criminal. I know why they're doing it, but still, it's not very pleasant. So I got the whole, where have you been? How long did you stay there for? Who did you meet? Can I see the photos of who you met? No, you can't. Where did you stay? Well, none of your business. Then it was the car. That's a nice car for somebody your age. Yeah, I know, thank you. What does OCF mean on the reg? What's it got to do with you? Then it was, can I have a look in the boot? Yeah, knock yourself out. All you're going to find is a pair of worn boxer shorts and socks and an old banana that I didn't eat. Feel free, be my guest. I just get insulted at the suggestion that if you've got nice things then you must have done something dodgy. What happened to good old-fashioned hard work? Anyway, I'm tired now, as you can probably tell with my grumpy little rant, but it's been a good trip. I enjoyed catching up with my mate. I enjoyed my little sightseeing tour of Paris, but probably most of all, I enjoyed the car. I'm so glad I took this car and not the old 730. Every time you're able to put your foot down, it just never ceases to amaze me. It's brutal. I forgot to tell you, I got a letter through from Mercedes a few weeks ago, and there was a recall on this car, or the AMG GT in general, something to do with the drive shaft. So I took it down to Stockport Mercedes, and they replaced it free of charge. And it is now a completely different car. Before it was really noisy, I think I've mentioned this to you before, but it sounded like I had a bad wheel bearing in the back. Anyway, it turned out to be a drive shaft. So now it's still loud, it's still a hardcore sort of stripped out thing, but it's not completely deafening like it once was. I don't think I would have had the patience before to do a road trip like this with that noise, but now it's a pleasure. What I was going to do on this final leg of the journey was work out the costs. The Eurotunnel costs, the fuel costs, the tolls, all that sort of stuff. But things have changed. I've got something more important on my mind, something that I really feel obliged to do. So, boys and girls, we're going to have a quick detour to the capital city.